Hey, welcome to the podcast. You are going to really enjoy today's podcast with our guest, Lawrence, who's been a longtime customer at the coffee house and is a vet. We want to honor him and thank him for his service. Hi, I'm Natalie Huschek, and this is our podcast, Turning Trauma into Triumph. I want to introduce you to a wonderful guest, Mr. Lawrence.
Hello,
our longtime customer. How long have you been a customer here at the coffee
house?
house?
Ever since y'all opened.
So 5+ years.
Yeah, 5+ years.
You've known all of our baristas.
Everyone.
You kind of journey with us, don't you?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know.
very much so.
Praying for them and.
Yes, always.
I see them having conversations with you, so I know you're concerned for whatever they're going through.
Yes, I am. Right?
Yeah.
You know, knowing the effect of addiction, the effect of incarceration, the effect of homelessness.
Trauma.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Feeling less than.
Yeah.
Guilty, ashamed.
Shame, yeah.
Feeling like nobody will listen.
Mm-hmm. No one sees you.
Yeah, you're just by yourself, even though you're not by yourself, but you find that out along the way, right? That's what helped me to understand being a child of God, even though I was raised in the church.
Here in Dallas or Oak Cliff, yeah?
Here in Dallas. You know, my church life, my church journey started at Pilgrim Rest Baptist Church in North Dallas and Forest Avenue Baptist Church in South Dallas and Beth Eden Baptist Church in Oak Cliff. And my churches grew, you know, as I matured, you know, so I knew God, but my relationship as far as holding on, when you're tested in your trial, you find out who you are.
Oh, right? Yeah.
And you find out where God is, right? And in my trials, my Bible reading and my Bible searches became deeper, right? My favorite book was Job, right?
Okay. You just related to his suffering?
His suffering, you know, and Hosea was one of my favorites because of my broken marriage, right? Raising kids by myself.
I remember one time you telling me a story about walking to work and trying to catch that bus. That was in South Dallas or Oak Cliff?
That was in Cedar Hill.
Okay.
I walked from Cedar Hill to the Dallas main post office off of 30.
How far was that?
That's a good 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good 30.
Wow.
You know, that's probably...
You just did whatever it took, though, huh?
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to.
You were the primary parent.
Yes, yes. You know, even though I didn't like it, but I was raised to do it. Because...
How many siblings do you have?
I have 2, really.
Okay.
My brother, who stays with me, and my sister, who stays in Shreveport.
Okay.
Which is
Are you the oldest?
No, she is.
She's the oldest?
She's the oldest, and then me, and then my brother.
Okay.
You know, my brother found out in his 60s, this year. He did what you call a genealogy, with that.
Oh, yeah.
He did a search to
like a
find,
DNA?
Yeah, to find his father, right?
Okay.
Because we had an episode of land that was given to us, and he wasn't added to it.
Oh.
Right.
Interesting.
This is before my auntie passed, and my auntie, how you say, reacted to him differently and harshly.
Oh.
You know, which really hurt my feelings because we were raised together.
Right.
And to my understanding, this is my brother, and we both had the same father,
Sure.
even though after he did the search, he found out that my father was not his father.
Oh gosh, that must have been shocking
Oh,
for both of you.
yes, yes. Back in
Did it change your relationship or not really? Because you're
I didn't
brothers no
care
matter
about
what,
that.
huh?
Because we were raised in the same house, we wore the same identical clothes. We used to match. So that didn't make any difference to us.
Yeah. No.
We had the same mother. She raised us, and so with that, because of my mother raising us as a single parent, we could adapt. Okay. Being in the projects, wherever we lived, it was a training session for us to learn, adapt, and grow. Right. So when I was raising my kids by myself, I understood. Just keep them fed.
Yeah.
The best way you can, keep them fed. But I was suffering in the same instance.
And do you think that is why you're so compassionate?
I was raised by women.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that's the main reason why I'm like I am. By being abused by fathers.
and just a lack of strong
men.
men. So do you have any throughout your life? Has God...
My grandfather,
Okay.
my great uncle, Uncle Ben, and my cousins, they were the same age as my mother. And my great uncles, were my men.
And were they a positive influence?
Yeah. My uncles in the country were wild, but but they said, this is what a man does. This is how you should react. Don't do this, don't do that. They were military.
Okay. And you're military. I
Yeah,
want to
I'm
recognize you as a vet.
My main, when I got ready to leave out of high school, after I graduated from high school, I had already enlisted. And my mother cried, my grandmother cried, why did you do that? Why you just didn't go to college? I said, I got to go. Because I had got to a point, my mental state of being was, the way I accepted pain, right? I didn't accept pain well, right? So I ran, right? So in that house where I was raised up, I seen and heard and flashbacks of pain, right? So,
Do you think some of the stuff you've actually repressed and some of the traumatic memories?
it has shaped me.
Yeah.
Shaped me and molded me from the church, from the preachers, from the gospel, from the songs that were sang, from everything that I was put into, that I had to be a part of in church, shaped me. From people telling me, Lawrence, it's all right, you don't have to feel this way. Don't be like that. Don't grow up to be that person, right?
So do you have a diagnosis of PTSD?
Yes, I have PTSD, and the thing about it, I had PTSD before I even went into the military.
Really? From childhood?
Yes.
And then the
Yes.
military just kind of added to that.
It just activated it.
What would you say, and being a believer, have been the most healing things for your PTSD?
When I got saved when I was 13 years old, after being abused when I was 10 sexually by a female, and through the divorce of my stepfather from my mother, who was very abusive, physically, mentally, verbally. When I was saved, it felt like God lifted a whole lot of pressure off of me. Right? I felt free
Yeah.
for the first time in my life. when the Holy Spirit entered me, I was like, how Jeremiah said, it felt like fire in my bones, right? I carried my little Bible and I witnessed like I had no tomorrow, right? I had a new mission.
So here are some people in your life who should have been safe, were not safe.
Right. We were so frightened in the house.
You and your sister and brother?
My sister didn't stay with me. She stayed in Shreveport. It was only me and my brother. We were scared because my stepfather was big, broad, built. One time he grabbed me, and my brother went one way and I went the other way, and he grabbed my belt and lifted me straight up.
Wow.
Like that, and whooped me.
Okay, let's dive a little bit deeper into trauma, PTSD. Lawrence has certainly experienced so many types of trauma, and you're going to love what he has to say, the hope that he has through it all. Again, we want to ask you to subscribe. That helps us a great deal. And save the date for our April 24th gala. There you'll see the website, wggala26.givesmart.com. So you found some freedom from that. And I know you've told me before, just over the last year or so, though, that your spiritual maturity has just deepened.
My journey through my trials, through my drug addiction, through my homelessness, and through incarceration, God has taken me on a journey that helped me to understand wherever I was, He was there.
Yeah,
right?
Never alone.
Never alone. I spent many nights when I was homeless just staring up at the sky, or just listening to the breeze blowing and listening to Him talk to me, right? Giving me advice on what to do, how to do where I was, and how to take care of myself, and this was only going to be temporary.
Yeah, and so what kind of things do you, how do you encourage the baristas? What is your message to them?
Be quick to hear and slow to speak, right? Listen to the Spirit of God speak to you, because He speaks to you daily, right? Your relationship with God builds as you listen, as you read, as you be of service, as you help somebody less than yourself, right? As you talk to people. Don't sit on the bench because you found God. You know, we are supposed to get off the bench, right, and speak to the lost. And when you do that, you're enriched by the Spirit of God to keep it going.
That's what I find here, is that serving these women has been a part of my own healing process. Like you said, when you're serving others, when you're thinking of others, and you're not just sitting in your own whatever, sadness, isolation, woundedness, but getting out of that and thinking of others, that's a very healing process, isn't it? I think it's critical.
You know, I tell my kids, my son asked me one day, he said, "Dad, do you still tithe like you do?" I said, "What you mean?" He said, because he used to, when I went to Oak Cliff, I used to always go by the ATM. You know, it wasn't like it is now, where you can just use certain apps to give to the church, right? During my days at Oak Cliff, I had to go by the store and get my tithe money and bring it to the church and get me an envelope. And he would see the money, right? And he said, "Dad, why you put so much in the envelope?" And so I would have to explain to him, God only wants 10%. So I had to break it down. But his mind, he said, "You give a lot of money." In his mind, he said that could be used for something else in the house, or blah, 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 blah. Not understanding that all of the money is God's.
Right.
Right?
That's a mindset, isn't it?
The house that you stay in, that's God's. Right? The clothes that you wear, that's God's. your health and well-being. That's God.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's important mindset because, you know, sometimes people donate to us, and there's always so many needs around the coffee house. I mean, just starting with payroll, but espresso machines don't last forever or whatever. But it's important, you know, when I'm meeting with the baristas to say, okay, we've been gifted this money. It's entrusted to us. It's God's money. So how does God want us to use this money?
amen.
And really just wait until we really are in agreement and believe, you know, yes.
Because it helps.
Yes.
You know, it helps. You know, don't be too quick. You know, we can come up with our own ideas, you know, but when you wait on God, you'll find that His ideas are better. His, His solutions are better.
Always.
You know, somebody might come around the corner that needs something real bad. You know, I seen a guy out here on the corner, on the curb, right by the office. He had his shirt off. He was a white guy. He's homeless. He's laying out there. He's so tired that he just laid down and went to sleep.
Yeah.
And I was in my wheelchair, and I rode by and I looked at him, and I went on and done what I had to do. Went by the donut shop, brought something for him to eat, some water, some juice, and some, you know, some things, and hoping that he was still there.
Right.
Right. When I got there, he was still there.
Nice.
And I woke him up.
Yeah.
You know, I said, hey, you know, God loves you, and so do I.
Nice.
You know, and he, oh man, thank you. I said, I've been where you are.
Yeah.
I said, but look at God.
You know, we're getting ready to have our next gala in April, and it's silver and sapphire, but part of the theme is the wounded healer. And kind of exploring that. What does that look like? The wounded healer, and we see that story represented all over the place. And I think that's what we do here. We've been wounded, and it's actually because of our woundedness that we're equipped to help the next person. And for you to have experienced homelessness, that could not have been a wonderful experience. But here you are now with a very specific compassion for someone. You know, it's easy to judge people, like get a job. Well, we know that it's more complex than that. Just get a job, you know. And so to be able to have compassion for that person, that makes us wounded healers, doesn't it?
The thing about it that is so important that I could bring up is that when I was homeless, I went back to the post office, right? But I wasn't ready. Right, because I wasn't totally healed, right? So I left the post office again, right? Now, when I was so beat up and chewed up to where sometimes God will let you feel your pain.
You're right.
Right? He let me feel my pain, which hurt me physically from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. My eyes were thumping. My body was thumping. My kidneys were hurting. My muscles were cramping. My eyes were bloodshot. And I was all on the floor. I just was hurting.
Yeah.
Until I cried out to God. I said, help me. And in that same instance, I was due to go to the VA the next day, right? So when I went to the VA the next day, I was like rode the train with no money, with my duffel bags, my Bibles, everything, right? I had a total of about 6 Bibles. I had to leave some at the Salvation Army. When I got to the VA, I did not want to leave to go on, you know, escapades or go on activities. I stayed inside the hospital for a time until I got my feet back. Right.
Get your foundation back.
Once I started talking to the psychiatrist, once I started going to the meetings, once I started to go to chapel, right? and started reading my Bibles that I brought, I started getting my feedback. Right? People that have went through pain, the best thing that God does is heal that pain. Right? You not only understand your trials and tribulations, but you also understand other people's trials and tribulations, right? I understand about drugs and addiction. I understand about abuse, right? I understand about...
It sounds like you've experienced every kind of trauma.
Every kind of trauma, you know.
And yet here you are.
You know.
You're here in my store. You're encouraging my baristas who have gone through it, and I am grateful for that.
You know, God has blessed me to experience and go through. I understand that I can go through.
Makes you stronger.
Yeah, it makes me stronger. Now I'm about to go to school on 26th January. Finally, again.
Congratulations.
Right. And I went to school today and got my computer all set up, my laptop that I just bought, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right? I am overwhelmed. Right? And if I would have thought about this in 2015, that I would be here. Because I always thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Right? I always thought that my life was over. And in some cases, during my trials, I thought about driving off the bridge.
Yeah.
Right?
You've experienced suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
But you have hope.
I know many nights that I would drive home and my eyes would be closed. And I would be asleep. And God would take me on to the house. When I wake up, I'm in my driveway. And it'd be nothing but God. You know, and I didn't ever say, how did I get here? I knew how I got there.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's the thing about it is that nobody can ever say they don't have a relationship with God once they give themselves to God, right? He has your well-being in His grace and mercy, in His embrace. And He guides you. If you kicking and screaming, don't make no difference. You know, He has knocked me out 3 times, right, in my addiction. Because I needed to go to sleep.
So here's what I hear you saying. You've experienced trauma, abuse, prison, addiction, you know, homelessness. And yet here you are, still a young man. And you're going to school, you have hope, and you come into my store and encourage my baristas. If you had an audience, and today you do, and you could give a message to them, you could give a message to people who have experienced similar trauma and maybe even contemplated suicide, what do you want to say to them?
What I would like to say to them is that God is real. God is real. You know, the times where I wanted to end my life, God spoke and said, no, we ain't doing that. You know, and He would put me to sleep. I've thought about ending my life when my marriage was over, and I was like, why am I still here? But God said, I have something for you to do.
You have a purpose. You still have a purpose.
Don't you remember? God is everywhere we are. We are never alone, but the problem is we have so many people that don't want to believe that God is real, right? We are so lost in our social media. You have people that go on social media for psychological well-being, right?
So your message to them is God is real.
God is real. Seek Him where He may be found.
Amen.
Right?
Thank you, Lawrence. Thanks for being a part of the coffee house. Thank you for encouraging, and thanks for being my guest today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and thank you for honoring our vet and our wonderful customer, Lawrence.